Your oncologist, really cool guy, everybody loves him. He brings me into the office. He's like, Matt, listen, thank you for doing this. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna lay you down on the bed. I'm gonna get this big needle. I got a big needle. And I'm just gonna gently pierce your skin and then jam it into your pelvic bone and suck out a certain amount of bone marrow. It's gonna feel not comfortable and it's gonna be a bit weird. Yeah, and I was like, yeah! And he said, for the mice? And I'm like, for the mice! You know, it'd be really funny. At the beginning of this video, I spilled this coffee on your rug.
I don't even know if I bought that.
Where did you get it?
Amazon.
Freezing already, man. This does not bode well. Oh, I was gonna say something funny too. I forgot it. Welcome to STEMmies. This is our weekly talk show. We're talking about stems. I had an actual question.
What?
But I don't know if I want to lead with it. But I'm gonna. Okay?
Before you do that, I'm just trying to figure out how to get comfy.
Oh no, you can't. You can't.
Okay, go on. Let's see.
My beard's gonna get into this, isn't it?
Aye. Okay, so I remember years ago you gave me a stat. 10% of donors in this kind of STEMI delivery situation spontaneously develop leukemia. Is this...
Oh, no.
Okay.
Actually, I don't remember what I said, but I think I brought up something where it's like, I had read about a family, one of them had leukemia, and they were doing the blood test, like you guys did, and one of them had leukemia as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Huh.
I do remember what you're saying, though. I just cannot remember the statistic.
All right. Well, then, because here's my real
that would seem insane.
That would be insane. And I would assume that's because whatever those 10 genetic markers are, if they're similar, it probably tends to similar mutational blahs. My question is this. If I get leukemia, can I have my stem cells back?
I don't know.
Because they seem to be working. I mean, aside from the havoc that they wreaked on your body, besides that, they're not leukemic.
Yeah, because it's like the stem cells from back then when you didn't have leukemia being... Yeah, I don't know.
So then also...
I have a doctor's tomorrow. I'll ask.
You gotta ask, because also would it still be an allogenic or would it be an othergenic?
If a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to hear, does it friggin'
make a sound? No, it doesn't, actually. That is the answer. It doesn't make a sound.
But, yeah, you were my stem cell donor.
That's true. I was. So, that was a long time ago. I don't... Oh, that makes sense.
April 2016.
Right. Because that's kind of when I stopped counting things. Yes.
So what, how did that happen? What, the very first thing you remember?
First thing. It is my third born's birthday. It's been a reasonably successful day. In the evening, having pizza, phone rings. It's Dave, our dad. Funny, yeah. I've been trying hard not to think about this.
Why?
Leading up to this. Oh, just to be fresh.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be fresh. So he calls up, and immediately in his voice, there's that shadow.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm like, oh, jeez, what? Probably at the time I was probably like, what did I do? No, I didn't. Hey, bad news. Oh, okay, Mike's sick. Did he have a cold? It's leukemia. Right? And I'm sure that you've encountered bad news in your life. But it's kind of like where, you know how people give that metaphor, the floor falls out from under you?
Yeah.
There's a physical reason behind that metaphor. There's a sense of falling. There's a sense of something going down. So that was effed up. My family's watching me kind of crumble. And then I call you with no idea what to say. So I think I said something to the effect of, or something like that. And I think that you responded...
I literally don't remember that call.
Yeah. I think you responded more or less... Yeah, you were in... Yeah. Hoy! And it became suddenly uncharted territory in every way imaginable, right? Emotional, actionable. It's like, we've never felt this way. We've never encountered this before. Holy crap, what's next? and then wait.
Tons of weight.
Wait.
I remember texting you before even going to the doctor, being like, my gut hurts. Like I've got like a swollen gut thing going on.
Yes.
So that was weird.
Yes.
So, all right. After all that,
April 27th.
yeah. But now you and Rob and Steve are doing blood work to see if you're a match.
Right. And
So
this is
what-
even...
Like, what do they do for that?
This was a messed up time too, because it was like, at this point even, the chemo wasn't working yet. So it was almost like we're gonna work on plan C, hoping that plan A will work, right? So we're in the throes of uncertainty, and they're all like, we gotta test you all. And I'm that guy who will just always say positive things, hoping that they have it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be the donor. It's gonna be me.
Yeah.
And then we all had to like sign up for blood tests, which was fun. And it was me, which was great.
That was just a basic blood test though, right?
Yes, the basic blood test. And then after that, they had to give me a bit of a barrage of blood tests and a stem cell, I think they called it a biopsy. So
A bone marrow biopsy.
a bone marrow
Yeah,
biopsy. Yeah, that was fun. That was the most interesting
But that's
thing.
after your match.
That's after the match.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of a confirmation, I think, is how it was explained to me.
Okay.
Like, let's just make doubly sure.
yeah.
Right? And so that was interesting. I had to go into London Hospital, and your oncologist was the guy actually doing the procedure.
But before that, you had to do a ton of drugs before.
Not
you-
yet.
Oh,
Not
okay,
yet.
okay.
Yeah. So first was the simple blood test. Are we genetic matches on these 10 markers? What are these markers?
So it's like they're called major histocompatibility complex. They're proteins on your body. In your body, there's MHC class 1 and 2. Hard to explain, but they're pretty much fundamental to your adaptive immune system.
Adaptive immune system.
It's hard to explain, but if you, let's say you got stem cells from someone who's not a match, like you would just have severe graft versus host disease. And just
Oh, they're just having, okay.
Probably,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's almost
or
like
at
having
least
similar,
way more likely to.
so similar security system. Compatibility,
Yeah.
cool.
It's been a while since.
And I was 10 out of 10.
those. Yeah.
And it still did that.
Yeah. So each species would have like their own. Well,
Mm.
most species would have their own type of molecules for these.
Okay.
Ours are called HLA, human leukocyte antigen.
Wow. Okay, so
They're pretty much, like your cells can like take in, let's say coronavirus, they'll take in that virus, cut up the proteins like the spike protein, and then display a portion of it on these molecules. And then other immune cells can recognize that and then make antibodies and do a ton of other crap and then go hunt that thing. So it's pretty much like a recognition system.
see this
Kind
is
of.
science.
Like, but there's way more to it.
I love that. Okay, so I never understood any of that,
Okay, yeah.
which was great. But you know what? We're gonna put subtitles in here. It's
Actually,
gonna
I
be clear.
barely even understood any of that either. I took courses on it like a couple years ago, but it's like,
Science is magic. Anyway, so yes, they stick me once, you look like a match. They stick you a
Yeah.
few more times and find out. There's gonna be one bad sticky, which is the bone marrow biopsy. Now, your oncologist, really cool guy, everybody loves him. He brings me into the office. He's like, Matt, listen, thank you for doing this. This is what we're gonna do. You lay you down on the bed. I'm gonna get this big needle, and you got a big needle. And I'm just gonna gently pierce your skin and then jam it into your pelvic bone and suck out a certain amount of bone marrow. It's gonna feel not comfortable and it's gonna be a bit weird. Are you okay with that? Yeah, of course. All right, now one other thing. My buddy's doing a research thing on like, I don't know, pancreas stuff with mice. I told him I had a guy coming in, giving me stem cells. Would you be willing to take another 2 things for the mice? And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess.
you probably are just like thinking, no, I don't want to, but I don't know how to say no.
I can't say no to this guy. It's like pancreas stuff. People are getting insulin from that, right? So, yeah, I guess. Okay, he says that I'm going to ask your consent one more time after I suck the first out, because a lot of people are checking out. I don't know when you give it to me like that. I can't. So, yeah, he just lays me on the bed. It's kind of wet. I knew that I was in for something when he kind of started leaning his weight on me, and like, because it hurts. I don't know. But so yeah, then he gets his ice pick. Pop goes into the hip. I can still slightly feel it, but that might just be a memory. And it was like getting a really, really large tooth sucked out of. That's what it felt like. It was
Yeah,
cool.
it freaking hurts.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah! And he said, for the mice? And I'm like, for the mice! Good times. Yeah. I think I got a lot of good karma from that.
But, okay. I have my timeline screwed up. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
so do
then,
I.
So then that was just confirmation that you're actually good to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't want any surprises on the other end of that. It was already a bunch coming.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
inject all these stem cells. It's like, oh, too bad.
Oops.
Turns out the other brother was the donor. Alright.
It was Steve all along.
My bad.
They switched the samples. Have you seen the movie Short Time? Old, I think it's an 80s movie. A cop does a drug test.
Yes, and then they mix up this thing, and then he just tries to die.
Yeah.
on the job.
On the job, so his family
That
gets
was
insurance.
hilarious.
Oh, that was such a good movie.
I just
What
remember
was that?
scenes. I think he's like driving a car, just like shooting, and they're shooting at him. And he's like, "Come on, hit me!" And
Hit
they
me!
keep
You
missing.
keep missing!
Yeah.
A-hole! We're not swearing for these videos.
Yeah. So
Oh.
so what happened after that?
You know, the whole 4 years timeline is screwed up in my head, in everybody's head, in all of our heads.
From 2016 to COVID, pretty much.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
And I can remember driving home from the hospital one day, no idea at what point. And I'm just like, it's me and Mom, and I'm like, Mom, are we all a bit broken now? Yeah, I think we're all a bit broken now. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Good. It's all broken time.
From what?
The whole friggin' situation.
Oh,
From
yeah.
from friggin' leukemia to GVH. Actually, there's those two actually. They were big. They were very big.
So
So then what's going on after that?
you get. All right. So So then while that's happening, I'm doing chemo, because if it works, I don't even need the stem cell transplant.
Wait, what?
Like if the chemo worked, I wouldn't even need the stem cell transplant.
I was not aware of this.
Yeah, but the first chemo just failed horribly.
Yeah,
And after that, they were like, yeah, you have to have it because you'll 100% relapse even if we get you into remission.
so the
But I don't know,
failure proved that it would just come back.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know cancer.
So, I did that. It
How many
was
times did it fail? Like 3?
Chemo?
Yeah.
Twice. I did the Dana-Farber protocol failed. Something called FLAG. So there's a bunch of different medications within these protocols.
Yeah.
And then after that, they were like, all right, we have this last ditch. It's called Nelarabine. So they gave me that got me into remission. Then we had like a month where it was like, you got to donate, and then I got to just do a bunch of tests prepping for it.
Yeah.
Like pee in a cup. I had to pee in a friggin' jug for a full day once,
Wow.
and then bring it in. I walked into the hospital with a jug of pee. Just like, here's your pee. Like, what the frig?
Funk.
Um,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then you would have donated stem cells during that. When I first was admitted again in August.
I remember the timeline being very, very tight. And almost every day, because I got one of those brains, I'm like, oh, am I going to screw it up? Right? Because for the
Because you had
5
to do
days,
drugs.
I had to do drugs. And I had to go for 5 days before the donation down to somewhere in Parkdale in Toronto. And it was during the Caribbean Festival. I forget what it's called, like this Calypso Festival. And it was taking place right down there. It was very difficult to get there every day, but very festive. A bunch of Calypso singers. And I'd go every day, at the same time every day. And even though it wasn't hard to get there, I was always paranoid that I wasn't going to get there in time. And it would screw everything up. And I would show up as like, well, Matt, there's no stem cells. You really dropped the ball.
Oh,
on
like
this
when
one.
you actually went to donate?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like-
that'd be like impossible. That means you're like dead.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, not no extra, because these drugs were so that my body would
Yeah.
pump out extra.
Yeah,
Because they don't go out in the stream, right?
There would be a little bit, probably not much.
Probably not enough.
I'm kind of guessing though.
Like, how
but-
many do you need to build a colony?
Frig, I think they gave me a few million.
Wow.
I've got a picture of it.
Yeah, it looks like
I post it?
raspberry lemonade. Warm.
I just forgot what I was gonna say. Oh wait, no, the drug Neupogen.
Neupogen.
Because they gave me that too. That didn't hurt.
A little bit by the fourth day. Oh wait,
Like-
you mean the injection?
No,
no,
the
yeah.
joints.
My joints were hurt a little bit by the
They had to
fourth
give me
day.
freaking oxy.
Really?
My freaking knees were killing. My elbows were killing. I'm just laying in bed, just like you got to give me something. I'm
Interesting.
hurt.
I was expecting that
Because the chemo knocked my white count way down low, so they used it to bring it back up. Because it helps proliferate your.
This is so
stem
complicated.
cells.
Because then
I
you
can't
would
remember.
think, well, is that going to make your friggin' evil leukocytes proliferate as well? Who knows?
Well, the idea would be that the chemo worked, and the
Oh, and
white
for a
count
little
was so
while.
low
Oh.
that it's killed everything, and then you try to rebound it,
Oh my god.
but it didn't.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why. And then I had to drive to London. I was stressed about that. What if I get into a traffic jam? And then we all die. No.
Imagine that you drive there, get in a car crash, die. It's like, yo,
Yeah. Oh well.
brother's a piece of crap.
Can you get the stemmies out of him now? And then it was easy. I was actually a little bit looking forward to the donation day itself because you never see that part of the hospital. The little dungeon where you do your donation, you guys, right?
Yeah, that was the first time I went in there. That's the dialysis place.
Oh.
Kidney or whatever.
Oh.
Because I'm assuming it'd be the same type of machine.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because it's like a.
Big friggin' machine. They strapped me in the bed, and then they said, "Do you have to pee? Because you can't get up for like 6 hours."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "But if you really have to, I'll give you a little bottle." Like, no, man.
She said that?
Yeah, and she. But I'm like, but my arm. But so when they gave me the IVs, you know how they have those nice plastic ones where you can still move. I guess they couldn't do that with these ones because they needed, I guess, more chip coming
A
out.
lot more, yeah.
So I was like, oh, so I can't. I wanted to read a book at the time, but I had to read like this. It was hard.
So they describe how that machine works.
It was so cool, and
It
it was
was
so
down to
big
the
too.
chemical level.
All right, right down. You want to get to the not the molecular level yet?
Like how
Okay.
the atoms interact with each other.
Giddy up, no problem. So we have something called the strong and weak nuclear forces. So I'm on this bed, and beside me this massive machine. It looks kind of like one of the droids from Star Wars, but maybe one of the newer ones where they're all white and shiny. And you can see the tubes in it going around in a circle. One of the tubes is connected to this arm, and then it goes through the machine and across my lap and into this arm, but the other way. Oh yeah, that's the one I couldn't bend because it was going the other way. Because when you take blood out, it goes like this. Put blood in, looks like you go like this. So the blood is coming out and it's going into the machine, and it just seems so simple. The machine is spinning at a certain speed, and spinning at a certain speed to get, because there's layers in blood. It's getting the different layers, and it's picking the stem cell layer and taking them, and then putting everything back into my body. And it's like, what a miracle of simple science. It's mechanical. We just spin it around. We know exactly how fast to spin around because we know exactly how big your stemmies are. What the frick? It's crazy. And then just do that for like 5 hours.
Yeah, that must have sucked though.
Yeah, it's nothing, man. I'm sure it was a lot easier than your part of the stem cell operation.
I had a normal thing.
Oh, no. I mean, I did have a lot of stuff that I had to do to contribute. But I think your contribution
you mean like the
was
diarrhea and like the half the body itching and all that crap?
Yes, I did that. Yeah. Wait, what?
I'm talking about. I was talking about the after effects of getting the stem cells.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like yeah.
I had none.
Oh,
You had a lot.
Yeah.
You had a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hurt a bit. My
Yeah,
butt,
yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah, but the breathing tubes, breakfast cereals.
Must have felt pretty good though, having been a match.
Oh,
If you weren't, they would have sent me to either Cleveland, Detroit, or Buffalo,
God.
and then they would have had to pay for it still. But then there's a ton of paperwork to get down there. It would have been freaking brutal. I would have lived there for like 3 months.
I remember when that was on the table, and it was terrifying.
Yeah,
It was terrifying. It was like, no, we gotta do this. I gotta be the match. So I worked really hard, and I matched it up on purpose. Burp. Don't include that. I burped.
Anything else that was significant?
Everything, man. Like, see, the whole thing is all fascinating because it's all kind of one big goo. It's a big weird goo because the stem cell stuff Now, this is also something that I got to figure out. So I understand, and this is probably going to be something for another video too, that they bombard your body with radiation to eliminate the stem cells. I want to know.
Full body irradiation. You were there for that.
I was there for that. I took a picture. It was creepy because it was not just a science fiction room, it was like a 1970s Cold War science fiction room. You had nuclear physicists there overseeing the death ray. Right?
Yeah.
And then I think to myself, these little details are like, oh, we're getting rid of his bone marrow. Like, literally, are your bones hollow now?
No.
I mean, then, obviously, now they're full.
I feel like bone marrow is just a place where your blood cells are created.
Sure.
So your stem cells are within the bone marrow.
But it's soft tissue.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they did the bone marrow biopsy and they're literally pulling liquid out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like squishy liquid.
Yeah.
Like when you cook it, you can eat it.
Yeah, you can suck it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so your bones it would be like hollow and then the ends would be kind of like
whatever those things are. Squishy, spongy.
No, they'd be more, they're still hard, but then it's like cavernous, I want to say. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But so there's still marrow in there, it's just it's not doing
so when
anything.
they do full body radiation or chemo, they're killing off all the stem cells that are in there. But so you have stem cells within, they're going to differentiate and proliferate into all the different white blood cells.
Okay.
And then those things will just release into your circulation.
Can I throw you an analogy and ask if this tracks? Imagine there's a forest, okay?
Okay.
And it's a rabbit forest, lots of rabbits.
Okay.
Okay. All of a sudden, though, some of these rabbits start mutating in the worst way. They become terrible mutant rabbits. They're killing everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So then this radiation, it drops a smoke bomb that kills rabbits but keeps the forest alive. And then we introduce my rabbits into the forest.
I get what you're saying. The forest is the bone marrow, like the actual place.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
But then
I'm sure the bones take some damage though.
Sure, a lot of wilting.
Because the radiation is going to kill.
Lots of stuff. Besides the rabbits, a lot of bugs are dying. All the squirrels.
Yeah, it's going to wipe out anything in there.
Which means then, when my rabbits come into the forest, they proliferate, which we want. But then as they go into the surrounding meadows outside of the forest, they're eating carrots, and the other ones were not eating carrots, right? And suddenly the farm is not as efficient as it was before. You could say there are holes in the structure of the barn. Grain is leaking everywhere. Is that an accurate grass versus host analogy?
I thought you...
Or even a lung puncturing?
I thought you were just saying... I thought you were just making an analogy for how the stem cells go in there and then
Well, if they're good rabbits, they're going to go in there and they're going to protect the farm.
Yeah.
Rabbits were not a good animal to start with. No, because they're kind of destructive rodents. Yeah.
So it's like...
Your dogs get mad cow disease. Well, because... I'm bugged because one of your first comments doesn't like your analogies and it pissed me off. I like your analogies. Whether it's about chocolate milk or whatever.
That was
carnivores.
blood type though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like analogies will break down the further into the subject you go.
This is true.
Like, plus haters gonna hate, son.
Haters gonna hate.
Okay, so they wipe out the cells in your bone marrow, right?
Yeah.
They're killing it's all gone. When they transfuse the stem cells into me, those have special proteins on their surface, and they'll literally hone in to the bone marrow because that's where they live.
It doesn't make any sense, but it
it does. Trust me,
wild.
it makes sense. It's like there's protein markers, and then there's.
Is it almost like you got a plinko and you have something perfectly designed so that every time
What's
you drop it
plinko?
into plinko, it's like one of those things where, like on The Price is Right, you drop a thing at the top and it goes ding 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 ding. But this thing is perfectly mathematically done that if you drop it here, it will always go there.
Yeah.
That's wicked cool.
Yeah, it's like lock and key. And then they go in there, and then it's a nice home in the bone marrow. They just start differentiating. So when it divides, one stays a stem cell, and then one will go on to like, there's a whole step of crap. And then become neutrophils and lymphocytes and freaking basophils or tons of stuff.
I love basil in almost all my cooking.
Those are involved in like, is it allergies? Or is it eosinophils? There's
Is that why you seem a little bit more allergic and sniffly to things? Like, what characteristics of mine would have passed to you through stem cells besides
I don't know. I guess
blood type?
I guess it could, like allergy wise.
Because you've been kind of sensitive to the sun in your eyeballs.
That's different though. That's my gland, lacrimal gland. That's part of the graft versus host.
Okay.
So the new immune system was attacking this gland. This gland produces tears.
Oh.
So when it takes damage, I'm not making high quality tears. So my eyes get dry.
It sounds so sad.
But then in response to that, these glands will produce more tears. So it's like counterintuitive. I get blurry, like really like watery, blurry eyes. Because the tears they're making are just garbage. They're not doing anything. But the body doesn't know that. It just keeps making more tears.
Because they're not working.
They're not working well.
Jeez.
Yeah, I got these contacts. You put saline drops in there and just pop them in.
Oh, and then you don't even need your tears.
It just helps. It's like a permanent kind of tear there.
So you're saying that because of this, you walk around with a permanent tear in your eye?
Yeah, so the guy who just called me, the doctor, I'm going there to get more contacts tomorrow. $1,200. But these ones lasted 3 years.
Jeez.
4 years. Going on 4 years.
This is why Ontario needs pharmacare. $1,200 for contacts?
Yeah, but they're like most specialized contacts.
Imagine.
They're like thick plastic. You can't even like.
You can't get them on Amazon.
No, they gotta like do laser beams and then focus. Do shape stuff.
So what you're saying, it's a really big step receiving a stem cell donation. It's kind of what you would call a life changer.
For normal people, for me it's like whatever. It's like a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
No, that sucks so bad.
For you. For me, it was Tuesday. What movie was that from?
Major Pain.
Street Fighter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Close. Major Bison.
Oh yeah.
I said that. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. So friggin' yeah. So you donated.
I did. It's a joy to be part of a miracle. It's a shame that the miracle ravaged your body before. I mean, it's one of those things where it's a little typical of me. I'll get the job done. Someone's got to fix it though when I finish it.
Do you remember after the lungs and my lungs started to get all screwed and rushed from General Hospital and the one doctor's just like, you know, if he were to just donate his lungs, you wouldn't even need to be on meds anymore.
Yeah,
my new immune system would just be like, oh yeah, this is the normal.
I recognize this.
Yeah.
I like that doctor. I think I responded, well, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to walk into oncoming traffic now.
He seemed like he was so old that he just could get away with saying whatever he wanted.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you know he has seen, he's an oncologist, right?
Yeah,
hematologist. That's probably just as bad. He's seen lots. And he looks like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Pretty jovial
He's
fella.
seen a lot of death.
Oh yeah. You need humor for that.
Yeah. I don't know. What else do people talk about? Like who have had us? Like what do you think anyone would want to even hear from you?
Is it scary? Okay. So
Like is it scary? Like because you got to be thinking. I know I'm gonna because I had a bone marrow biopsy, so you know it's like this is coming.
Oh, the biopsy.
Yeah, because that sucks, man. They're gonna jam a thing in your bone and suck stuff out.
It is amazing to me because you know me. A good word is timid, scaredy cat, borderline coward. I don't like pain. I'm not like other people. It hurts me, right? Yeah. That disappeared quick. It disappeared quick. It just wasn't a factor anymore. In fact, if there's any silver lining, I don't fear the doctors anymore. I would not go to the doctor for anything. After you got sick, I got a family doctor.
Yeah, it's because most, not all, but most stuff is not too painful.
No.
There are some that is incredibly painful, but...
Yeah.
Like, I got my tear ducts cauterized. It was brutal.
Gosh!
It was actually brutal.
Cauterized? I thought they just stuck a plug in them.
Yeah, and then they kept coming out, and then they wanted to just cauterize the tear duct. So they have to flip your eyelid down and then freeze that area. And there's so many nerve endings, it was just like... So the doctor was literally just like, this is gonna hurt. And it was like, ugh.
And you can't move, can you?
No, you're just like...
Now, how do you fight your own instincts? Like, that's willpower.
Because, but then you gotta be thinking, you're scared. What are you gonna do, flail about when the needle's right there? You scrape your eyeball and stuff?
Wow. Character building. or trauma given.
Yeah.
A little bit of both. Actually, sometimes I think character is actually just trauma in disguise. But yeah, so that disappears quickly. The scariest thing is just thinking, we got no guarantee that this is working.
Yeah.
That's the scariest thing. Okay, and you can't get away from that, but you also can't live there. Because if you live there, well, then you're done, right? So you just gotta kind of just live in the moment. And it's like, okay, today I have to do this. I don't know, it was a very weird psychic time. Psychic as in mental, not like I couldn't move things with my mind. That's not what I mean by that. But the uncertainty, which I felt a catharsis for on... It is a good word. It's a very good word. And it was one of those days in February. It was the day after the transplant was done. The lung transplant. Because nothing was looking good until that was done. And even though it was still a long way to go after that, something snapped. It was a very cold and very bright day in February. And the sun just seemed to be real for the first time in years. And it was only at that point where it was like, there's a sense that we don't really need to be worried anymore, even though we did. It's weird. I think people would probably get freaked out overthinking about it.
Well, yeah, because there's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do. There's
You
nothing.
just have to freaking wait and see.
Because these things are just too... Medical stuff is just, you can't touch it, but you feel like you ought to be able to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Get tested. I don't know. I was scared because I had malaria at one point in my life, and I always hear, like, you can't donate shit if you got malaria. You can't donate blood if you got malaria or whatever. Turns out, bone marrow's fine.
Oh, but you actually can't donate blood?
I don't know. Because I probably don't even have the parasite in me anymore. I haven't had it.
I think it lives in your liver or something like that.
Ew.
I can't remember
It's
that.
disgusting. Huh.
But yeah.
Are there any good jokes about stem cells?
I tried to ask ChatGPT to make jokes about graft versus host disease, but it wouldn't.
It was like, no, that's gross, man.
Yeah, and then when I finally got it to, they were like really cheesy.
Yeah. So in 2017, I was in a creative writing course, and we had to write a poem. And 20 minutes before class, I had no poem. I wrote a sonnet about donating stem cells.
You did? Do you have it? Because even if you find it, I can put it in the video.
Yes,
like,
absolutely. Absolutely. It's a sonnet. I should be able to remember
What's that? Is that a poem?
So
sonnet?
it's a type of poem, and the classic Elizabethan sonnet, which Shakespeare would write, it was 4 verses or stanzas. The first 3 each have 4 lines, and the last one is 2 lines. Right? So 3 quatrains and a couplet, and it starts with I can't remember it all, but I remember the couplet at the end. Something like, the worst thing is lying here thinking, God, please let this work. He replies, no guarantees. That's the ending. Because you were scary at the time.
Wait, you wrote that?
Yeah, I wrote a sonnet.
Oh, that was the ending?
Yeah, those are the last 2 lines of the sonnet. I don't remember the rest of it. Something about mom coming down and you know what she's going to take a picture.
So wait, you literally didn't do your homework, so you're like, last minute, like, I'll just write some crap about donating stuff.
Oh, buddy, I got an A. Dope.
Oh,
it's
really?
a dope sonnet.
Apparently, if
Dope.
you have something to do, most of the times you're going to do your best, like the first try and like with a time limit.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's exactly what that was.
I'm not just butchering that, so.
But that's what it was.
Yeah, instead of like, it was like some study where it's like, you have a group of people who can do a task within 24 hours, but they have like 1 or 2 tasks to do, and another group has like a week to do it. So, but they over-edit the stuff, and the first group always does better.
Interesting.
It's something like that. I don't
It
think.
was a certain amount of pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really was not able to edit it much in the subsequent, because I like writing poems.
Yeah.
But that one, it was like, I can't touch it. It's fine. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll find that. It was about mom coming down and taking a picture, and me being like, hold on, let me look like Jesus. Oh,
Oh yeah, I have pictures of those.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
pictures.
Yeah, I think it's in your opening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet people won't even recognize me in your opening. I was the skinny, hairless fellow walking while you had the fire
Yeah.
extinguisher behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
But now I'm in my Rasputin phase. Good times. We really got to know all the good eateries, the food trucks around Toronto General Hospital.
That'd be for the lungs, though.
Yes, the
It's
stem
hard,
cells.
yeah.
There's no good food at the London hospital.
No, just a poutine in the cafeteria. That was it.
And then you'd have to drive somewhere for something. Hospital food really needs some attention. I think that less people would be
It got to a point where they would wheel they would bring the tray in, and I would just start dry heaving.
Oh.
I was like, you have to get rid of that.
Oh.
Probably just because the chemo mixed with the eating hospital food, you create like that. It just reminds you of
Association.
it, but it was still trash from the beginning. It was like, man, make some craft dinner or something.
Literally just
Like-
some craft dinner.
Like frig.
Oh,
Like
high
the
schools
chili?
have better food. And it's all just
And like their stews, it was just like, this is just like,
No, the only good thing was the tea. Because it was just hot water in a tea bag.
yeah.
I used to drink yours. Because you couldn't consume anything. Because you were incredibly ill
And it was just crap.
and crap.
But yeah.
Right.
And,
I don't know. I want your viewers to ask us some questions.
you gotta get viewers first.
That's why you need a TikTok.
What?
That's why you need a TikTok.
Yeah,
Then you go
I'm
live.
still trying to learn this stuff. It's way too hard.
Huh.
Any advice to someone who wants to donate or is facing it?
Yeah,
or-
do it. What's the matter with you? Do it. He's gonna die. Do it. Jeez, people. Well, can you just donate stem cells generally? Like in
You can sign up for it.
Yeah.
I
And
think
like,
you go get a blood test, and then they'd have you on file, and then if there's a match, they'd be like, "Do you want
Wow.
to come in?" I think that's how it works.
a very nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I wouldn't do it, but yeah, someone should.
I don't know if they'd want yours.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They'd be like, no, they're just gross. There's some gross stuff going on there.
I already gave mine away. I don't have any anymore.
Yeah.
It's all gone. Science.
So what else is going on? Yeah.
Maybe I should have thought about this before.
Yeah, well, whatever. We can always do this again in like
That's the thing.
a year when we get
Yeah.
better. Talking in the freaking cameras is psycho hard.
Talking to the camera's hard.
And this setup's also weird.
The setup is weird, but that's okay.
Like the table idea across from the table would be.
But we just
ideal.
need different furniture.
Yeah, so we just
This
need
could be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could almost do it. Have it like a talk show setup.
What was? I don't know. I'm lost. It's weird because there's like 4 years of stuff that happened. I can't think of anything.
No, I know. That's exactly it. I can remember one time you told me that there was a certain period in that whole goo that you felt like you had descended into hell.
Oh yeah.
Was that the stem cells?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was okay. So they gave me the stem cells, and then for the first 2 weeks, you're pretty much waiting for them to create new blood cells. So you're pretty much just waiting.
And you're in
trying
quarantine
not,
now.
trying not to get sick. About 2 weeks in, they started rebounding, coming back up,
Okay.
and then the graft versus host disease started.
Immediately.
Yeah, it's called acute GVHD.
Okay. But it wasn't cute.
It wasn't cute at all.
Why would they
no.
call it that?
I don't know.
Doctors
I
are
told
dumb.
them, and it was like the mouth rash,
Yeah.
and then severe diarrhea. We had to poop in a cup, and
Yeah.
then measure it and write it on a paper on the back. Of
The chocolate
wall.
milk from the previous video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put that link somewhere. But the chocolate, yeah, and then just this crazy itch from head to waist because I had a rash. So every time I try to sleep, I would just wake back up. Oh wait, no, I remember. I would lay down and just be itching, uncomfortable, and then when I slept, I would wake up drenched in sweat,
Oi.
like within like 30 minutes. Just and it'd be like, nurse, you gotta like head to toe sweat.
Like you need to change your sheet
Yeah.
sweat.
So that was about 2 or 3 days. So I hadn't slept in like literally literally 2 days straight, because I would just wake up and be drenched in sweat, and I'm sitting at the window looking out, and you can see Commissioner Street right there. It's a pretty busy street. Cars are going up and down. It's like 3:00 in the morning, and it's like, I'm like a little crazy because I'm thinking to myself, like, what if I just died and I'm in this room for eternity?
And you're just haunting it.
And I'm just itching and sweaty and diarrhea. My gut kills. I can't eat because my mouth is like all sore. They're feeding me through my catheter with TPN, which is literally just nutrition like in through your catheter. And then it's like, that lasted, like, it's not like I was crazy. I was just like, maybe like 10, 20 minutes. Like,
wow.
What if I'm dead?
What if I'm actually dead right now? You've been to the edge and back. And then you went to the edge again and came back. Stop going there.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to experience something new. And then I was like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm done.
Yeah, this was a good experience. You know, it's like some of those people like to travel the world.
Yeah.
You just want to see every spectrum of the human condition.
Well, I visited healthcare.
Yep.
Maybe I'll travel next.
Nice. Yeah.
And then, you know, it's a great way to stay in shape. So yeah, that's it. So
the funny thing is that it's funny now. Well, not all of it. Yeah, actually most of it's pretty dire still. But we're clever enough to make good jokes about it.
Yeah, you can make jokes about it now.
You can make jokes
so that's good.
Yeah.
If you're not laughing, then you're just crying.
Yeah. Or, you know, sitting there content, I guess.
So yeah, any words of wisdom to wrap this up, I guess?
Heck no. There is something to be said about the clarity that kind of comes when worlds fall apart. Priorities kind of get shaken up. And that's an interesting thing to look at in the middle of those. That's it. It's an interesting thing.
Yeah, and then next time we'll just try to do better at, video stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Like during the thing, like document it while it's happening? You mean?
What?
Or you mean, oh, I see what you mean. You mean this. Oh. Not like going back and next time you get leukemia, what we should do is
friggin'
document it.
I would have done that. Like, okay, Matt, you're the you are head of director of photography. Like, just record all this crap.
Oh man,
because that would have been wild.
That would have been a wild ride. You were distracted. With struggling for your life. We were distracted. We didn't have the good equipment, and
we had iPhones. That would have been.
Next time you should do it. You shouldn't do it. One of us should take one for the team and try it. So next time one of us gets.
Oh yeah. Well, then I'll record.
Yeah.
I'll just come in with everything. Set up the whole freaking studio, cameras everywhere. Yeah.
Doctor, will you be in this one? Come on.
All right. Thanks, folks.
The important thing is to like, comment, and subscribe because studies have shown that the more you like, comment, and subscribe, the nicer the people who make the video feel. So.
And you got a TikTok.
I got a TikTok. We should probably do some collaborations. But you can find us at Ruth Conscious or on YouTube too.
You're on YouTube?
Maddie Cook 82.
Bob's your uncle too.
We do not have an uncle named Bob. We have a brother.
Yeah.
Barb.